So it's the first sort of rain of the season, I guess you could call it. I was actually kind of surprised. I was at work and I could smell the humidity really strong, and I didn't realize it was supposed to rain. Just kind of unusual. Hopefully it'll melt away what's left of the snow. If you look over at the mall, you can still see quite a bit of snow that hasn't melted away, and we're not supposed to get below freezing, at least as far as the high temperatures or any snow anytime soon, so that's good, or ever, hopefully, for the rest of the season. But I'm actually driving. I don't know if you can see it off into the distance, but I'm actually driving to the Meridian Township Police Department, not for the police, but for the tower. And I'll tell you why. I have decided that I am going to get that Kodak 360 camera, and through some investigation with other people on YouTube who actually have these cameras, I have found out that in fact it uses quite a bit of space, and you know, a single 1080p video, or even I did find out that it does record in WQHD, so that's good. It'll be native to my channel. That's even more. I mean, we're talking about, for a 5-minute video, we're talking about you know, 5, 6, 7 gigs just to upload to YouTube. So what I have to figure out is can I actually find a spot close to a Sprint tower and get really good upload bandwidth, and just, you know, maybe grab a snack on my way home or something and park myself in the police parking lot, which is probably gonna look suspicious after a while, and just upload my videos there, because what's happening is I need my phone at work. I just do. That's all there is to it. And having it been up in the locker for 3 hours while I upload 4 or 5 videos just kind of sucks. So here I am at the Meridian Township police station. It's sort of the Meridian Township center, I guess you could call it. And the actual cell tower is directly in front of me, and I'm going to check the bandwidth and see if it really is any better being right here, or if it's something I'm just gonna have to deal with doing at work. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. There's a closer look at the cell tower. It's actually pretty interesting that they turned it into a clock, which for years I never even knew that it was a cell tower. I mean, I realized that they disguised those, but I honestly thought that it was just a center of township clock. Kind of funny that I never realized that it was in fact a cell tower. So anyway, I did my tests. I did 4 tests using an app called Open Signal. Very low latency of 29 milliseconds, which is good. Unfortunately, the download speed was only about 3 megs, which for 4G LTE on Sprint is actually pretty slow. The upload speed was about 12 megs, which is way more than I get at home, and it's right around what I get at work. So I don't see the advantage to sitting, and it may be the time of day. I mean, it's only 8 in the morning, so I can't imagine that that there's a heavy load on the system. It's Saturday, it's 8 in the morning. You know, I don't know, and I was getting full signal. I was getting full bars. I know that doesn't tell you everything, but I actually have better results at work at a place that's about, I would say, about 1/10 of a mile away, which is kind of unusual. Maybe I'm too close to the tower. Maybe they're throttling because there's more load. Maybe they're running maintenance. I don't know. I'm going to come back tomorrow and do the same test, and if it's consistent, then I'm going to assume that there's no advantage to me actually uploading that close to the tower. That I'll just have to suck it up and upload it at work. But I did decide that through the feedback that I've gotten, at least for the past 24 hours, my video's only been up for maybe 20 hours or so, but for the past day, from the feedback, it seems to be that there's some interest in that. So I am going to do that. Now, I was talking to a gentleman on YouTube, one of the first ones to get the camera up and actually properly coded so that YouTube understands that it is in fact a 360 video. And he said that one of his problems that he had with the setup was the fact that there's a dark spot. The spot that the camera, the lens points directly up, is not rendered properly when converted to what YouTube needs in order to display the video. Again, being that this is a 360, so you're essentially seeing a camera with this height, right? And what do you get out of looking up at the headliner? I mean, what do you really get out of it? Nothing, as far as I'm concerned. So from this respect, it does not matter that you can't look up. And there's been some really nifty kind of workarounds with that some of the, if you search for 360 video, you'll see the hot air balloon is the one that stands out that most people have seen. He actually did a trick where he created a 3D like housing that would, jeez, oh Pete, you see that guy? Right up on the curb. Anyway, he created a housing that would splice the two cameras together, so you could look up and then you could look down, and it would be seamless. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. YouTube obviously asked him to do it, because I've seen some of the comments that he made on the video that it was a special occasion for that, a special request by YouTube. So I'm not going to do anything super sophisticated like that. First of all, I don't know how. Secondly, there's no point. I mean, I am in my car, okay? And yes, from an immersive standpoint, from a virtual reality standpoint, it's neat to be able to look down at your feet and so on when you're driving. But is there a point to it? Is it something that you will feel like, oh wow, I really needed that. I really needed to look down at the gas pedal. I mean, really, we're talking, is it practical? Is it going to really draw you in? And I suppose from a pure virtual reality standpoint, yes, the more you get in from your surroundings, the more it feels like you are there. I understand that, but for my purposes, for YouTube right now, at least in this day right now, it doesn't seem to have much of a point. And I know that there's other 360 cameras out there that are coming out, but they're really expensive. The one that I saw that stood out the most, that's coming out here in a couple of months, I think they call it the Orb or the Orbis or something like that, or Portal or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that one actually has cameras that are 360 degrees. It's not just one lens with a super wide angle that will pick everything up from the lens up. This actually has multiple cameras that will pick up every single angle, which I find neat. But also, I'm not going to spend $700 on a camera to do a few videos, drive-along videos, to be more immersive. It doesn't seem like it has much value right now. Down the road, maybe. Definitely something I'll be looking into. But as of now, the basic 360 camera is good for me. And I know that one of my what are they building here? Boy, this place is really taking off. I know that one of my subscribers had mentioned, a gentleman had mentioned, oh, don't get the camera now, wait until next year. To comment on that, I just want to say that yes, you have a very valid point. This is early in the 360 technology, but I feel like if I wait, I feel like it's just going to be, I don't know if it's my own personal kind of desire to be one of the first, But I feel like if I wait a year for the new set of cameras to come out, I feel like it's just going to be, yeah, you know, 360, oh well, it's there. Oh, yeah, I can use my Oculus Rift with it. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, okay, I get it, you know. I don't feel like it's going to be new in discovery and just awe to people. So it's my personal desire to want to get into it early, experiment with it early, and have you, as my viewers, experience that early, whether it be with your phone, your computer, virtual reality headset, just so that it's there. Not so much so that I can be a standout on YouTube, but more that it gives the experience now, so that you can enjoy it now rather than have to wait a year. And I may reevaluate that in a year from now and say, yeah, you know what, the new cameras are so much better, and I'll already have a footing in it, so I'll understand how it all works and so on. But I think I'll probably end up just having it as just my drive along videos, maybe some other side projects possibly, but I don't really see too much more. I mean, I see where they're going with the 360 stuff. It enhances the virtual reality possibilities. And as far as drones are concerned, you know, those quadcopters and so on, just slap one on there and then you can get a full aerial view without having to rely on which direction the camera's pointing. So there's a lot of great immersive entertainment and use out of this stuff. But I'm not going to take it any further than, you know, some drive-along videos. There's no point in me, like for example, my when I do my brakes, I'm going to do how-to videos on that. There's no point in having a 360 camera there, because I'm showing you how to do the brakes. You don't need to be looking around at what's behind me or above me or anything else. So there's no point, if you kind of follow what I'm saying, there's no point in doing it for everything. But for immersive content like this, some people actually get a fascination out of just driving. I mean, I love to drive. And just imagine you're sitting in your living room, right? And I'm carrying on a conversation with you. You've got your headset on, or you got your phone, and I'm like, whoa, look at that. And you can actually stop and go, oh yeah, I saw that. Rather than, you can only see what's in front of you. I find a great value in that. I honestly do. And I'm looking forward to not only producing that, but also experiencing that on other channels. So that's the entertainment value that I'm finding out of it. That's the complete value that I'm finding out of it. Or finding in it, I should say. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So really, it's going to be a great tool. And I understand that I'm going to be one of the early adopters, and quality isn't going to be what it will be a year or two from now. I understand that. Believe me, I do. But I'm not worried about that. I'm going to make the investment now, and not so much so that I can get more exposure on YouTube, like suddenly, now everybody notices me. But I think it's going to be a great entertainment device. I really do. So that's how I feel about it right now. So I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, as I was telling you with the cell tower, a 5-minute drive is going to be like 6-7 gigs, and who wants to just drive 5 minutes? So we're talking about 15, 20, 25 gigabyte drives, or even more if I'm taking a drive for a half hour. So that's why I was looking at possibly having a place to upload these videos. So that was it. But stay tuned. I'll let you know when I get the camera. Probably beat this subject to death, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about how excited I am to get this new camera. If not for the possibilities on YouTube, but just to be able to see this new technology. And I am personally interested in virtual reality. I've always been interested in virtual reality, not just from a wow technical standpoint, but I really see the benefits in virtual reality. I mean, imagine that you are a doctor, right? And somebody needs some operation somewhere. And there's actually, some of this stuff actually does happen. But let's just say that you've got a mechanical robot or android or something. I'm not trying to get all Star Trek-y or anything, but you've got something that can be controlled remotely that has the precision, if not more precision, than the human arms and fingers and so on. We have this technology, and we do use assisted mechanical things in the medical field. But just imagine that, let's say that I'm just throwing this out here, whether it's real or not, some heart specialist that has a specialty in a certain surgery, or a brain surgeon or something, they are unavailable or out of the country or something along the lines where they cannot get to a dying patient in time before they die. You've got an emergency surgery that needs to be done within an hour, or else the patient dies, okay? And only this one doctor or a handful of doctors in the world can perform this surgery, right? So you've got the doctor who has over his eyes or whatever exactly the patient in front of him, and he is able to replicate, with the VR assistance, replicate the surgery. And the mechanical thing performs the surgery, but he's controlling it, and he can see all the intricate details of what's going on. He can pan a camera, you know, he can do whatever with his eyes and complete the surgery. Now that's just one possibility. That might be kind of a narrow scope, but another possibility with VR is getting over your fears. I personally have a slight fear of heights, not intense, not debilitating, where if I'm in a tall building I throw up or anything else like that, or if I'm on a roller coaster or whatever. But just imagine, and I think about it like this: when I lived in my apartment, which all of you know that I had an apartment, when we first moved to that building, I lived on the bottom floor, okay? And the very first time that we actually looked at the apartment that you see, where I had my solar equipment and so on, the very first time that I went out on the balcony and looked down, I was, for probably maybe about 30 seconds, almost petrified at the distance. You're talking 3 stories high, and I was leaning over the edge, and at first I was kind of like a kind of a lock-up kind of you know, stomach churning feeling when I was looking. But then after about a day or two, I didn't even faze me. In fact, the distance the perception of the distance wasn't there. It didn't affect me in any way, because I became used to it. Now imagine that a virtual reality, you are walking let's just say a tightrope 1,000 feet from, you know, an elevation of 1,000 feet looking down. I'm just using that as an example. And your brain, because when it comes to height, it's mostly a visual perception. It's mostly the sense visually of heights, okay? Of course, you've got other things that can roll in there, but it's not like the smell throws you off. It's not like the sound throws you off. It's mainly the visual. And just imagine that you could have a VR headset that will run this virtual reality program that will put you in different scenarios. Starts you at, let's just say, 20 feet. And then when you walk that tightrope, let's say a dozen times, it moves up to 40 feet. And then moves up to 100 feet. And then 500 feet. And you really believe, visually, you believe that you are walking this. And it works, because I have actually seen some of these videos on YouTube that just kind of give me a stomach churning feeling at first. And this is just sitting in front of a computer. I'm well aware of where I'm at, but looking at these videos, there's a couple of channels out there, these guys who climb these ridiculous towers and stand on these points that you're not supposed to stand on, and he pans the camera down, and you're looking down 1,000 feet, and it really does give me that jittery feeling at first, until I kind of realize, my brain finally kicks in and says, no, you're not really there. So some people dismiss VR saying, well, you're not going to be able to trick your mind. Yeah, you actually can. And of course there's going to be people out there who are just beyond help, who can't get anything out of it. But I see this as helping a lot of people. It's, you know, the Oculus Rift really started something that that we are starting to really work at. This is no longer some university that's specializing in some VR machine that doesn't have access, that, you know, not very many people have access to. This is something that is going to be commercially available to the average Joe, a system that is going to help millions of people. It's also going to be an entertainment platform, being you more immersive in the games that you play or the activities, if it's just walking along the beach. So the 360 camera is definitely going to assist that, and I think they're going to get even better in something like maybe a 720 camera, where you can literally look. I mean, I'm just throwing the number 720 out there, but you can literally look in all different directions with a single camera, and they are coming out with that stuff. So I am absolutely excited and fascinated with the prospects of what I can do with my YouTube channel, and I don't know where it's going to take me. So we will definitely see, and I really hope that you're just as excited as I am, because I'll be ordering it real soon this week, and I can't wait to get it. So yeah.